What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. In today's video we're going to be predicting the starting 11 that Stephen Kenny will pick for the game against Andorra tomorrow as he goes in search for his first ever win as Ireland manager. I believe it will be his 12th attempt at picking up a win. So it is an important game. It kicks off tomorrow at 5 o'clock. If you do go on to enjoy the video, guys, please do drop a like on it down below. If you can hit 50 likes, that would be fantastic, and do leave your comments down below with your score predictions for the game. Surely we're gonna win. You'd have to think so. So yeah, I want to see positivity in the comments down below. And if you're new around here, please do subscribe. We have lots of content up on the channel at the moment and lots more coming in the future that I think you might enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump straight in. The first big talking point of this video is what formation will Stephen Kenny go with. And obviously in the last qualifiers he did go with a 3 at the back, or if you want to call it a 5 at the back. And in his previous qualifiers before that he went with more of a 4-2-3-1. So it's going to be hard to predict what he will do. Obviously he's had a bit more of an extended period with the squad in the last week or so to work on stuff, and apparently he's been working on a back 4, which I'm quite surprised by. I thought it was going to be the back 5 that he'd stick with. So the back 4 we're going to go with in this video. We're going to go with a kind of a 4-2-3-1, which I think is his preferred formation moving forward. I think that is the ideal formation that he wants to play with this side. So I think we'll go with the 4-2-3-1, but I wouldn't be overly surprised to see him maybe transition it throughout the game. You have players like Darragh O'Shea that can play at full back and maybe drop into a 3 at the back as well, so he could possibly have a kind of fluidity to it and change the formation mid-game, but I think he will probably stick with the 4-2-3-1. In goal, I think it's probably a no-brainer. I think there's maybe the one position you can guarantee. I think he will go with Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. Obviously Darren Randolph has dropped out. Mark Travers is coming in as a replacement. I think he will give Kelleher his first start. Kelleher was quite unlucky last time out because he was injured at the same time as Randolph, so Bazunu came in, and Bazunu did a great job, really good goalkeeper, but I think Kelleher will get his first start in this one, definitely. In terms of the back 4, then obviously at right back there's 4 options at a push. You have Cullen, Doherty, you have Leo Connor, and possibly Darragh O'Shea as well. I think it's probably between Cullen and Doherty. I'd go with Doherty for this one. I think Cullen will play against Hungary. Obviously it'll be a tougher game in that one. I think Doherty will play in this one. I think you'd like to think we'll have a lot of the ball in this game, and Doherty's probably more of a goal threat getting in around the back post. You'd like to think that he'll play as that right back, but will be very, very advanced in this game. He played 17 times in the Premier League this season for Spurs. Obviously wasn't the best of seasons. There's a couple of rumours about maybe a Nuno Espirito Santo going in there, so possibly maybe his career could get reignited in the Premier League next season. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that is the case. But for Ireland, I think he needs to step it up a little bit for Ireland as well. He hasn't been overly great, to be honest. So I think there's a good opportunity for him to get in that kind of playing that back 4, but be in an advanced role. And I think he can contribute a lot moving forward in this game. So I think I'd go with Doherty, and I think he could nick you a goal as well. So I'd go with Matt Doherty for this. At left back, it's between Ryan Manning and James McLean. Obviously, Enda Stevens has been ruled out through injury for these round of fixtures. I think I'd go with Ryan Manning, to be honest. I think he's probably the only natural left back. I'm not particularly a big fan of James McLean at left back. At left wing back I wouldn't mind so much, but I think at left back I think you're looking at Ryan Manning starting this game. He did feature a lot for Swansea when they played at their kind of 3-5-2 as a left wing back, but as the season progressed they went back to a 4 at the back, and they of course did lose the playoff final there recently, and Ryan Manning didn't start the game. He came off the bench, so yeah, he wasn't really starting in terms of the back 4. I think he will start this one for Ireland though. I think he's the most natural left back we have. Another option, maybe a Darragh O'Shea could go in there at left back. He could do a job. He wouldn't put a past him to do a job. They're a very versatile defender. Leo Connor arguably as well could do a job at left back, but I think he will go with Ryan Manning. Now centre back is interesting. You obviously have Shane Duffy in the squad. You have Darragh O'Shea in the squad, John Egan and Andrew OMOBAMIDELE, and Leo Connor arguably can do a job there as well. Very versatile defender. The 2 I'd go for, I'd probably go with OMOBAMIDELE. I'd give him a start. I think he's played 9 times for Norwich this season towards the tail end of the campaign, and he's done really, really well there. Whether he'll get a chance to stay in their starting 11 going into the Premier League is another question. I'm not sure if he'll be starting many games in the Premier League. Hopefully he does get a fair chance because he hasn't let them down as of yet, and I think it's a great opportunity to get him involved in the senior squad. I think it'd be a good game to kick him off in. I like the look of him. He looks a really, really talented player. So yeah, I'd give OMOBAMIDELE a start. People have been saying Dara O'Shea maybe start alongside him. I think I'd go with John Egan for that bit of experience, just to guide him through the game. Any rocky moments, I think John Egan would be perfect to guide him along. And I can't wait to see John Egan back in an Ireland shirt as well. I thought we missed him desperately in the last round of fixtures as well when he was injured. So yeah, John Egan and OMOBAMIDELE at centre back for me, I think. Moving into midfield, the midfield pairing, the double pivot. I think we're looking at a combination of either Josh Cullen, Jason Malumbi and Jason Knight. I don't think Harry Arter will start in this one. Conor Hourihane in the squad as well. I'll come on to him in a few minutes. But I think it's between those three. Personally, it's a tricky one. I think Josh Cullen will definitely start. He'd be the nail on starter for me, I think. Very on Soco actually wrote an article on him for extra time, so make sure you go check that out. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below, but it's an article about his aim is to become a regular mainstay in the Irish midfield, and he definitely has the ability to do so. I've really liked the look of Josh Cullen so far, and he's been a regular in Anderlecht's side this season as well under Vincent Kompany. So yeah, I think Josh Cullen I'd go with definitely. As for the person beside him, it's between Jason Malumbi and Jason Knight. This is a tricky one because Jason Malumbi's played 15 times in the Championship this season and hasn't played too much football, whereas Jason Knight has played 43 games for Derby this season and has been a real regular in their side under Wayne Rooney. So maybe just I'd go for Malumbi to give him some football. I'd say Jason Knight is a little bit knackered after that season, and Derby went down to the wire as well. They were down to the very last day, just about stayed up. So maybe I'll just give Jason Malumbi, because I think they're all going to get plenty of football over the next two games to treat them in there. So it's kind of take your pick really. But I think I'd go with Cullen and Malumbi. I like the look of the pairing that they had in that Serbia game that we lost, but I thought the two of them were good and energetic and are good on the ball as well. So it's about trying to develop these partnerships and relationships as well. They've played together previously. I think it's important to try and develop that over these games and get players kind of used to each other and stuff like that. So I think those two have a little bit of an understanding there already kind of built up, and we need to get a win here to give us some confidence moving forward. So yeah, I'll go with the two of them. In front of those two is where it gets tricky. Obviously you have to pick three players to fill in the kind of right wing, left wing and centre attacking midfield and number 10, so to speak. It's been a lot made about bringing Danny Mandrew and Jamie McGrath into the side, obviously two natural number 10s. I wouldn't mind seeing Conor Hourihane potentially get a shot in the number 10 as well. He really excelled there for Swansea. I think he played there early on in his loan. He played there and scored 5 goals from that area of the pitch when he was allowed to kind of be a bit more advanced. I like him in that role, so I wouldn't be against seeing Conor Hourihane in that number 10 with maybe Jamie McGrath pushed out either side. Jamie McGrath has that versatility where he can play off to the left, he can play off to the right, and he can play in the centre as well, which is really, really a good option to have. But I do think he will go with McGrath in the 10. I think probably Hourihane won't start this game. I think he'll start the Hungary game. I don't think he'll start this one. I think he'll go with McGrath in the 10. He's scored 17 goals for St Mirren in all competitions this season. He's looked really sharp, looked really, really good, really talented player, and it's great to see him get his opportunity under Stephen Kenny. He's kind of come out in an interview this week and said that Stephen Kenny was a huge reason behind his kind of breakthrough at Dundalk, and he's kind of encouraged him to make mistakes in the final third and go for stuff, and it's really encouraged him to play with that kind of freedom. So that was really cool to see. So yeah, I think Jamie McGrath in that 10 will be interesting to see. I'd love to see it. I think he's going to do great for us as well. I think he's going to be a really good option for us moving forward. I think he'll impress hopefully in these two games and earn a spot in our squads moving forward as well. Interesting to see if he will stay at St Mirren this summer, or if he will move on. Look, there is a lot of Championship and League One interest in his services, and there's no surprises there. He's been fantastic for St Mirren. Looking out to the left hand side, I think we will see CHIEDOZIE OGBENE get an opportunity here. He's had a little bit of a tough season this year due to injury. I think he's only featured 11 times in the Championship for Rotherham this season due to those injuries that he's had. And in League One this previous season, he'd been described as unplayable by his manager. It was a huge reason why they earned promotion. So yeah, I think I'd give him a start. He does offer a slot lock in that final third of the pitch. He has a bit of pace. He can beat a man. So I do like the look from him so far, and I'd like to see him get his opportunity to run at the fullback and create opportunities for us. So yeah, I'd go with CHIEDOZIE OGBENE off to the left. Jamie McGrath, as I said, in that number 10 position, and I think he probably will go with Daryl Horgan on the right. He's been solid enough. That's why I think I'd personally, I'd probably go McGrath on the right and Horahan in the middle, because I prefer to have Horahan on the pitch than Daryl Horgan on the pitch. But I think he will go with Horgan. He's played 40 games at Wycombe this season in the Championship, hasn't scored a single goal, which doesn't bode very well. But in fairness to Daryl Horgan, he's been solid every time he's played for Ireland. I've actually been quite impressed. He always puts in a shift, and he does cause problems as well. He has pace, he has a decent enough delivery, so yeah, I think he will go Daryl Horgan on that right hand side. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to think of that. What kind of layout would you go with in terms of the midfield? It's a bit of a tricky one in fairness, but yeah, I think Daryl Horgan is the man who Stephen Kenny will go for on that right hand side. Another one is Sammy Smodzic, the player that was called into the side from Peterborough. Obviously you're in promotion with Peterborough. I think he scored 15 goals a season, so I haven't really heard of him before, to be honest with you. I didn't even know he could play for us until he got the call up. So I think he'll probably come off the bench in this game. I don't think he will start. I'll be surprised to see him start. And Danny Mandrew as well, of course, as well as another player we could see come off the bench, and hopefully we do see come off the bench. It's really exciting to see a League of Ireland young talent get this opportunity. So yeah, it's really exciting to see if he will get involved, and I'm sure he will be at some stage. In terms of leading the line, then we've got options. Obviously Callum Robinson has dropped out of the squad, Aaron Connolly has dropped out of the squad due to injuries. We've got James Collins to choose from, Adam Ida, Troy Parrott, OGBENE could probably play up there if needs be, Ronan Curtis could play up there, God forbid. So I think it's a no-brainer. I think he'll go with Adam Ida. I think Adam Ida is his number one striker. I think he's the one he likes the most and sees the most in terms of what he offers to the system. He's quite tall. He's 6'2", I think. He scores goals. He's quick. He can hold the ball up. I think he's a little bit of everything, and he's a really hot prospect. A little bit unlucky with injuries this season as well. He only played 17 games for Norwich in the Championship. A lot of them off the bench as well, of course. But obviously injuries played a huge part in that. Scored 3 goals for Norwich as well. Not a terrible return, but obviously not ideal as well. If it's going to be a big decision for him this summer as well, you feel, in terms of what he decides to do about obviously Norwich getting promoted to the Premier League. Will he get a look in there? Seems a little bit unlikely. Maybe a loan to the Championship is the best thing for him, and he's more than capable of scoring goals in the Championship, with absolutely no doubt about it. But I think Adam Ida will. I think that's a no-brainer as well. I think probably Adam Ida and Kelleher are the two nailed on for me in terms of who's starting this game. I think they're the two that I'd bank on. The rest of them, you can make a case, or you can make a case for Kenny switching it up a little bit, I think. But yeah, that's my starting 11 for the game against Andorra tomorrow, guys. Make sure to let me know what your starting 11 would be down in the comments down below, and let me know your predictions as well. I'm interested to see what you guys are all thinking ahead of the game, and surely we will win. If I had to give you a quick prediction, I'd probably say 2 or 3-0. I'll take a 2-0 any day of the week, so I'll probably go 2-0, probably more realistic. But guys, I did hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like on it down below, and please do subscribe if you are new around here. It is greatly appreciated. We're on the road to 3k. We can feel it in our sights. So yeah, all your support is greatly appreciated. Please do join us on this journey. We're going places. I can feel it. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video, and make sure to enjoy the game tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in a bit.